Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Jeremiah J-Man Monero. I'll be your instructor virtually today. My company name is J-Man Seminars, but just a little bit of background. We're waiting for some last minute people to come on. I am a real estate practitioner. I've been now in the business almost 15 years. In my specialty, I travel all over the world, actually, talking about technology, social media, and video. So I'm here to teach you what I know about how to be a virtual agent, especially in this day and age with the pandemic that we currently have, how you can do it, whether you're non-essential, essential, and everything in between right now, and then how you can implement new systems into your real estate business and thrive in the new normal, whatever that might be. So let's get started. Share my screen here. So you can scan this QR code. That's going to take you to my Facebook Messenger bot. In the chat, for those of you who are unfamiliar with Zoom, or maybe this is your new word to Zoom, because I know many of us have been spending many hours on it every day since the pandemic hit. But in the chat, I've already put a virtual agent handout. It's in the chat, the file itself. You should be able to download it from there. But if not, if you use your phone and you scan that QR code, that's going to take you to my Messenger bot, which there'll be on-demand resources as we go through today's presentation. So as you want information, I'm going to deliver to you instantaneously. Okay, so the virtual agent, J-Man Seminars. My website is jmanseminars.com, or you can find me on any of the social media platforms under J-Man Speaks. I'd like to start with this quote. An entrepreneur is someone who jumps off a cliff and builds a plane on the way down. I mean, those of you could raise your virtual hands and say, you know, that's how we feel right now. If you've never done video, or you're new to technology, you're jumping off a cliff, or you're trying to figure it out. How do I do this virtual agent stuff? How can I still communicate with my clients? How can I do what's pending, what's coming? How can I still do that and be in business? Okay, depending on where I am in the country. So to start, I want you to be happy today and always, and to do that, I'm gonna need for you to keep yourself on mute, okay? All of the time, except at the end, when I'm going to open it up for questions, and then you can unmute yourself and ask any questions that your heart desires pertaining to the presentation. Okay, if you have questions as we go, please just type it in the chat. You may not know me, but I am extroverted with ADHD, so any kind of ambient noise, babies crying, dogs barking, sirens in the background will just throw me off entirely. So please, let's all be happy today and always, and keep ourselves on mute. The secret of getting ahead is to get started. So as we go, I encourage you to be posting on social media about the fact that your company has brought this presentation to you today about how to be a virtual agent in 2020. You can use the hashtag virtualagent2020. Again, getting started, you can use that QR code if you came late to the party. You're going to scan that, and I'm going to give it to you at the end as well. Okay. You can also send a keyword to my page. It's facebook.com/jmanspeaks. Send message. I'm giving you multiple ways to get the information so that you don't have to email me after the fact. So what can we do virtually? So for those of you who've been in the business for a while, or those of you that are new to the business, just about everything in real estate can be done virtually. I'm from New York, where in New York we were deemed non-essential, and then we were deemed essential, and then we were deemed essential with limited services, meaning the ESD, Emergency Services Department, is that what they're called? They determined that there is no reason for us to see our clients face-to-face. There is no legal reason for us to see our clients face-to-face. And so I'm going to give you the ways that I am using technology to still exceed expectations and take care of clients. But basically, we can do showings, we can do virtual open houses, we can do virtual presentations, communications, and even virtual final walkthroughs. Okay, let's start with showings. Couple of different ways we can handle the showings. It depends on if the property is vacant or if it's occupied. I'm going to give you both of those solutions. So first thing I would do, if the property is occupied, meaning the seller still lives there, I encourage agents, look, stay safe. We want everybody to stay in their respective homes. We would still, in our area, we use showing time. So if you have showing time, centralized showings used to be their competitor, but they acquired them as well. Or if you just have in there schedule virtual showing with John Doe and have your phone number, that's fine too. But what you'd have to do is let your seller know that this is how we're going to do it. We're going to do virtual showings, meaning agent calls me, wants to show my property tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. I'm going to call the seller and say, hey, we have a virtual showing at 10 a.m. I have then coached and instructed the seller about how to do the virtual showing, which we're going to get into here. But just like you would, instead of scheduling a regular showing, you're scheduling a virtual showing. And depending on your local laws, if the property was vacant, you could follow all the rules and regulations, obviously, of what you can do. But you could have an agent doing virtual showings, meaning he's at the property and they're video conferencing the clients in. Not he goes to the property, opens up the property, waits in his car, and lets the clients go through. That wouldn't recommend that. Okay, so in this option, you stay home, seller does the walkthrough. Okay, it does require your seller to be a little bit tech savvy, but I have done it with the most untech savvy client. Last week we did a final walkthrough with one. First time ever even holding an iPad. We got through it. Okay, people understand that this is a new day. They have to do things. They have to adapt. It's just the way we do things, and that's how it's going to be for a while. For the immediate future, and probably from now, whatever that new normal might look like, things are going to be different. So it's important, and I credit all of you who are on right now watching this, or whoever might be watching this on the playback, that you took it upon yourself to learn something new so that you can adapt and overcome. Because those of you who do that are going to thrive in this new normal. But you stay home, seller does the walkthrough. Okay, let me reiterate that. You, if you're the listing agent, stay home, right? Seller is at the listing or at their home. Buyer's agent is at their home, okay? And then the buyers are at their current home, meaning the home where they live now before they buy your listing. Here are some programs and apps for you to use. You're on Zoom right now, but some of you may not know that Zoom also has an app, right? So make sure you have the program and the app. Google Hangouts is free. It's a very casual way to do video conferencing. That's why they call it Hangouts. Their more formal version and upgraded version is Google Meet. And then the most overlooked and probably easiest to use is Facebook Messenger. I'm going to go over each one individually. The first one is Zoom. You can get a free account. You can even use your browser online, but I wouldn't recommend it. Okay, the free account only allows you to do up to 40-minute broadcasts. Okay, I don't want to be limited to time if I'm doing a walkthrough, if I'm doing a showing, whatever the case may be, or I'm having a meeting with a client. I want to have unlimited. So if you upgrade the $14.99 a month, it gives you a couple benefits. Number one, unlimited. You can have up to 24 hours. Number two, you can have up to 100 participants on there. Not that you need it. And then number three, it allows you to record the showing. So if you did a walkthrough for somebody, they wanted to see it, they show the property, you could then say, hey, I'm going to send you the video afterwards so that you can kind of go through, stop, rewind, fast forward, and see anything that you might have missed when we walk through the property live. This is your first opportunity for a keyword. At the bottom there, Zoom help. For those of you who need help with Zoom, type that keyword in and we will send you a one sheet. But if you go into the resources in the support section on Zoom, they have a ton of videos that are pretty well made, and they're short. They're like a minute to 2 minutes to help you be better. I would say that you want to practice with your colleagues, your coworkers, your loved ones, people in your house before you get on and start working with clients, because you don't want to be figuring this out on the fly. They're looking to you to be the expert, so it's up to you to practice ahead of time. This is my 4-year-old. Okay, I got 2 kids, 2 boys, 4 and 9. They Zoom on the daily. And this is him with his pre-K 4 class.
You know, if you can hear Sarai. Can you hear Valentino? Sarai, can you hear me? Can you hear us? Sarai, can you hear me? Yeah, Valentino. Sarai, can you hear me? Sarai, can you hear me? Sarai, can you hear me?
She said yes, Valen.
All right, so I just wanted to show you that Zoom is so easy, a 4-year-old can do it. So you can do it too, it's just a matter of practice. Don't practice in front of clients. Google Hangouts, it is free to a good home. However, your client has to have a Gmail account. Once they do, and if they do, then it's cross-platform. So regardless of whether they're on a Mac, whether they're on Windows, whether they're on Android, whether they're on iPhone, you can use Google Hangouts. On the device, they have to have the app. On their desktop, they do not. Desktop or laptop. Google Meet is the upgraded version. So Google Hangouts, like I said, was very casual. It was meant for you to hang out with your friends in video chat. Google Meet is part of the Google suite of products. You can upgrade for $12 a month. Keyword for that one is Meet or Meetup. That will get you a help one sheet on how to get started with Google Meet. A little bit more professional. It gives you the opportunity to give them a call-in number in the case that they don't want to do video, but you can also share screen just like you can on Google Hangouts. So if I'm going over paperwork with you, a contract, whatever that might be, I'm using any of these platforms to share my screen, or you can share your screen with me and I can go over all the pertinent details. And the last one is Facebook Messenger. This is so easy. You may not even know that you have the capability to do this. All you have to do, and we're going to practice this in a second, all you have to do is find somebody that you want to video call, send them a message, and then hit the camera button above it, or create a group. So I could create a group with myself, with the seller, with the buyer's agent, and the buyer, and then hit the camera button above it. It's going to automatically video call each of the 4 people. Okay, they do have to have a Facebook account, and it's preferred that they have a Messenger app. So make sure you download the Messenger app on your phone. This is probably how I communicate with clients most often, especially on the fly. If I'm, if I have to do something quickly without having to open up my laptop and send them an invite and stuff like that. Okay, and then the calendar. Google Calendar has an integration for Zoom. So you can go into your settings in your Zoom account and say, click on Google integration. You're going to say yes. And so now when I have that virtual showing, I'm going to put the date and the time. It's then going to give you the option to either make it a Zoom meeting, which you can see on the left-hand side there, or a Hangouts meet. If you have a Hangouts meet, it's going to show that. It's that simple. If I hit make it a Zoom meeting, it automatically creates the meeting details. I then would add the guests to it. So anybody who's going to be a part of that showing, buyer's agent, buyer, myself, and seller, I add them as guests. Everybody saves it to their calendar. Everybody has all the details for the virtual showing. So nobody, I ran into an agent a few days ago. She says, well, I tried it, but then one, I think it was the seller's agent didn't show up. And I'm like, well, did you send him an invite? She's like, well, no, they just said they would be there. And I emailed it to them, but it got lost. Okay, not everybody checks their email, but if they're using Google Calendar and they're up to date, it'll be on there and they'll have the details, so they won't lose it. All right, so let's take a second. For those of you who do have your videos on, which is not a lot of you. Oh, we have a few. Okay, so let's take a second here. We're going to try any of those 3 options. I would say let's try Facebook Messenger. So if you have Facebook Messenger, I want you to open it up. If you don't have it, I want you to take the time to download the Facebook Messenger app. And if you have video, I can see what you're doing or not doing right now, okay? I'm going to try to share my screen just to show you how this can work. Meetings, how to be a virtual agent. So when you have the program downloaded on your phone, you could always join any meeting virtually. As you can see, I'm doing here. Stop video. I'm going to share my screen. Okay, I'm going to share my screen here, the entire screen. All right, you should be able to see everything now. I'm going to go to social media. Okay, let's see here. I'm going to call the bot nerds. See the camera at the top there? I'm going to click that. Hey, Jen, I'm just practicing Messenger again. I'm just practicing Messenger again. Thank you. Okay, it's that simple. I'm going to leave that, and then I'm going to leave the meeting, stop sharing, leave the meeting, and I'm done. Okay, I did that rather quickly, but I didn't plan that ahead of time. I pick people and I randomly prank call them, if you will. Sometimes they have their video on, sometimes they don't, but it's that easy. So I just opened it up. I went to social, went to Facebook Messenger, picked a person, hit the video button, and I'm good. Okay, let's go back over here. All right, let's talk about virtual showings in person. Again, this all depends, what your market allows. We have people from all over, east to west coast, and I know different municipalities have different rules. So virtual showings, if that's allowed in person, for us, we're only doing it if the property is vacant. Okay, I feel like there's too much cross-contamination if the seller's there and then an agent comes in, and then even if they leave the house, there's still a lot of heebie-jeebies that could be there that I wouldn't want to be a part of. So if the property's vacant, virtual showings in person, we'd recommend. And again, stay home if that's what your state requires. But virtual showings in person, we would use Google Duo. Okay, we love the Google suite of products. They're all very simple to use. It used to be Google Duo was only mobile device to mobile device, 1-to-1. It is now up to 12 people. Okay, the big difference with Duo as opposed to Google Meet or Google Hangouts is that the people who are on it do not need to have a Gmail account, right? They need to have a Gmail for Google Hangouts and for Google Meet, typically, in order to get the full functionality of it. And with this, they don't. And this is only mobile to mobile. Okay, one more caveat. As you're calling somebody, as your phone rings, the video rings, right? They can see what you're doing before they pick up the phone. Okay, it's like a preview. So some of you do weird things. You could be looking at up your nostrils, fixing your hair, doing all kinds of things. Like, just know that they can see you. You could use that to your advantage. You can make funny faces. My older brother does it all the time. He tells me I'm number one in his book. And I always send him to voicemail. Okay, but it's really simple. Up to 12 people. You can do it Brady Bunch style. If you had them all up there, it's 4 main people, and then you have all the rest on the bottom, like you see on the right-hand side. If you have a newer Android device, this comes standard. If you don't, or you have an iPhone, you just want to download the program. It's called Duo, T-U-O. Okay, there's also the option for a virtual tour. So I share this with you because I'm giving you all the options. It's up to you to kind of determine how you want to run your business. I'm going to show you Matterport, but there's a number of companies out there. There's a number of less expensive camera alternatives that you could do this yourself as well. But the first showings could be via virtual tour. And I like this a little bit better because this is a more immersive experience. And then the second showings can be done with that seller doing the guided tour like I showed you. So then that way the seller isn't doing, every single showing possible. So this could be the first showings. I'm going to transfer over to my Chrome so you can see what I see. I'm going to take you on vacation to St. Bart. This is a little bit laggy today, but here is a vacation property in Toyney. I don't know where that is, but I just wanted to show you. It's a pretty cool one to show you how immersive this virtual tour can be. Okay, I can see the view. I can walk through the property. Come over here. Can check out the infinity pool. Okay, so if you don't have somebody that's doing Matterport in your area, there are alternatives. But each one of those circles is a place where that camera was placed and did a 360-degree scan of the property. Because this isn't a video. This is actually high-resolution images that are stitched together so that you can walk through the property. Okay. I could go full screen like this. You can see where it says here, view in VR. If I click that, it's going to give you the options to do Google Cardboard, which goes on your face like this, or the Samsung Gear VR, or any number of the VR headset options available. You put it on your face, you click VR like that, and then you turn left, you can look left. You turn right, you can look right. So the first showings can happen here. I'm going to go back to the Chrome and back to the PowerPoint. So I know agents that they'll do the showings, meaning, okay, you're going to call to show the property, and then they keep the link, and the link gets sent to the agent when they want to show the property. Rather than actually doing the virtual showings with the seller, they do this first, and then if they want to schedule a second showing, they do the virtual showings. I know you want to, it's hard because normally you have data that you can give to the sellers and say, oh, we had 30 showings this week. We had 10 showings this week. Here's the feedback. So what I do is where that virtual tour is, wherever that's hosted, I took that link and then I put it into bit.ly, bit.ly or bit.ly.com, right? So then I can track, and this is all free. I can track where people click through and how many clicks that I've had. So I listed a property on Monday morning. It went into the system and we had 89 total clicks. I sent this to the seller Tuesday morning. 89 total clicks. It tells you the time that the clicks happened by Tuesday. But then I also have where those clicks came from. So 34% came from realtor.com. 30% came from my local MLS. 31% came from email, SMS, or direct messaging. Okay, again, it's just data that you could share. Very different, but if I had, you're not having the showing activity initially. So if I had 500 clicks on the virtual tour and we're not getting any second showings, that means that our online presentation of the property is not in line with our pricing, right? From an economic standpoint. And that's where I would have a conversation with the seller saying maybe we need to improve the price, right? Or ask for a reduction. Final walkthrough. Again, this depends on your local area, but it's you, the listing agent, stay home. Seller is at the listing if it's occupied. If it's unoccupied, the seller could still be at the listing. Buyer's agent is at their home. Buyers are at their current home. In some markets, what people are doing, we did this not too long ago, last week. The seller, it was an estate, the seller left the property open. The buyer unaccompanied then walked through the property with us on Google Duo. That makes sense? So the buyer did the tour. We sent them a video ahead of time as far as what to expect and how that final walkthrough would go. But everybody stays home, or one person is at the property at a time. I'm not gonna go open the door, wait in the driveway, wait in my car. Stay home, be safe, be socially distant, okay? Virtual open houses, public and broker opens. Again, stay home if that's what your state or your local municipality requires. But for a public open house, you're going to schedule it like you normally would schedule it, right? If I was going to do an open house, typically in our market, we do them on Sundays. Typically, we would do maybe a 2-hour open house, but in a virtual world, 30 minutes to an hour would be fine. If I was going to send postcards to the area, I would still send postcards to the area and say, hey, we're doing a virtual open house on Sunday from 1 to 1:30. Okay, on there I would say we're going to do, the walkthrough is going to begin at 1:05. Okay, so be sure that you're on time. The walkthrough of the property will begin at 1:05, and then the open house will conclude at whatever time you decide. Okay, so seller or you can host. Again, if it's occupied, the seller can host. If it's vacant, then maybe you can go and do this. And this is a good example where I would have my Zoom or whatever set up, and then I would have my second device available to do a walk through the property, so I don't have to walk through with my laptop. Okay, I'm going to schedule the event. So I would schedule the event on my Facebook, create the event. I would market it just like any other event that I would. I'd send it to people. I'd share it on my feed. You could do targeted ads if you wanted to, entirely up to you. But I'd also tag my sellers in it because I want them to see, as well as all their entire sphere, to see that I'm doing above and beyond and outside the ordinary of what other agents are willing to do in this market. Okay, I can also create a watch party from that video, the virtual open house. Create a watch party helps to increase the viewership. Here's some of the programs that I use. We have BeLive.tv. Okay, this is probably my favorite. I'm going to show you that in a second. We have Restream.io, which allows you to actually stream to 2 separate sources. I can go on my Facebook profile as well as a YouTube channel at the same time for free. Okay, and then StreamYard.com. Again, you can schedule it like that, and also it's a separate program which pushes live video to Facebook. Here's kind of what it looks like. You would schedule the video ahead of time. It would say, this example is just a show that I have called Millennial Who Talks. But imagine that said open house. It'd say open house Wednesday at 5 o'clock, a twilight open. Where it says interested, right down there, that would say get reminder. Somebody clicks it, get reminder, then they're going to reminded the day that you're supposed to go live, an hour before, 30 minutes, 20, 10, 5, 2, 1, and then it counts down. So much better because you can schedule it up to a week in advance. Okay, it's not like you just go live, it's a surprise and nobody's ready for it. Okay, let's take a quick field trip back to Google Chrome to show you what I'm talking about. Okay. Now, the website is BeLive.tv. I'm going to bring this down here. I move got my video squares all over the place. First thing you need to do is hit start broadcast. This program is free as long as you don't do more than 2 broadcasts per week, longer than 30 minutes. I pay for the upgraded version. I think it's worth it. It allows you unlimited broadcast, unlimited length. I think it's like $150 per year. Okay. So first thing I would do is set my destination. Set here, go here, and you can choose YouTube or Facebook. I'm going to say Facebook. I then want to schedule that. Okay, so I can schedule it up to a week in advance, like I said. So if I did next week, 4/22 at, I don't care, I'm going 12:20 a.m. You can then add an image to it. So that would be whatever image I would put in there, you know, like open Sunday, open Wednesday, open whenever, with pertinent details about it, with a nice picture of the property. You then choose where it's going to be hosted, whether it's on your own timeline or any of your pages. So I have a number of pages that I'm the admin on, or any of your Facebook groups. And then you'd hit save. I'm not going to save it because then that would schedule a video to go off next week. They also have additional branding opportunities if you know, well, let me start with this. Text on the screen. This is awesome. Okay, you can change that as you go through. You can see even the scrolling ticker at the bottom. I can change that as well. I can stop it if I wanted to. I can go in here and say, oh, you know what? I want to edit the appearance. I don't like this Easter theme that we got going on. You can create your own custom overlays. Let's see here. Okay, I can change the logo in the upper right corner if I wanted to. So it's very customizable. I can have multiple camera feeds if I wanted to here. So it's a lot more flexible than just going live on Facebook. Okay, come back over here. And if you follow my Facebook page, I actually did a how-to, an in-depth how-to on BeLive.tv yesterday. So if you go there, it's the most recent video. It's a 20-minute tutorial of how to do BeLive.tv. Check out the chat here. What is the app to track? I'm going to cover all this when we get to the questions at the end. Okay. And same thing with virtual open houses. You could do that with Matterport if you wanted to. Again, it's not going to be as good, but I would treat a virtual open house just like I would a regular open house, meaning you do your tour initially when you're first going to go live. And then I would sit there, if I'm there or if the seller's there. The seller's there, I would say, okay, just mute your video and mute your audio. As somebody comes in through the door, the virtual door, not the actual door, your seller or yourself would then give them a tour. Oh, welcome to our open house. This is a lovely 4-bedroom, 2-bath, and then do your walkthrough. Okay. Broker opens. So in our market, we do broker opens. Hold on, my screen is not being shared. All right. Why is it paused? Okay. Everybody see my screen? Okay. Going back to broker opens, yes? Okay. So with broker opens, I would schedule it like I normally would, but this time it'd be private. It wouldn't be publicly advertised. You know, we do broker opens. We bribe people to come through with really great, wonderful food, and then they see the house and it's wonderful. With a virtual broker open, I'm going to schedule it with Zoom. I'm going to have agents come through. I could raffle off like a gift card to a local restaurant, again, that we're trying to patronize to be sure that they stay open, supporting local businesses. It's a great opportunity. Okay, that's broker opens. Zoom and stream to area real estate groups. So if you have multiple groups or you have a local group, again, invite them incentivize them in some way so that they're more likely to show up. Okay, here's just again, this is a quick video of a Zoom that we did. We had 84 real estate agents from my local market on a Zoom.
Who takes a stand now?
You can fit up to 25 people on the screen at once.
I hate to say it, but I think that some agents are going to outwork themselves now by going out there and trying to do.
Okay, so same thing like you would with a broker open. You can follow up with them. You can ask for feedback, whatever forms you might use in person. Do the same thing if it's virtual. Online presentations, listing presentation, buyer presentation. If you do home buying seminars, if you do home flipping seminars, whatever the case may be, all of those presentations can be done online. We have a number of different options available. PowerPoint, it's been around since the beginning of time. It's my least favorite to use because everybody uses it and some people abuse it in a way. You can look up Death by PowerPoint. It's a funny YouTube video, but don't make it too wordy, right? If you're going to do a presentation online, make it more about images, less about words. The second option is Prezi. Prezi is more of a zoomable canvas. It's like a storyboard. It really tells the story in a linear format. That's what 99% of my presentations are done on. I prefer it. I'm going to show you an example here in a minute. Haiku Deck. Haiku Deck is really great. I actually created the presentation you're watching right now was created in Haiku Deck, and then I downloaded it as an editable PowerPoint. So it's highly image-based, meaning it doesn't allow you to type more than a few words on the slide itself. So in this example, you're looking at the screen, it says program options. The image I searched for was presentations. It gave me this Star Wars guy who's painting. I like that one better than like a guy that was presenting. And then I just added a few words on the screen. Right, if you go over here to field trip, I added the field trip, right, just one image. Same thing over here, online presentations. It's not too wordy, it's very image-based. And then the last one is Keynote. Keynote is Apple's version or MacBook's version of PowerPoint. Again, do something different. If you're still using a flip book, right, where you go like this and say, hey, welcome, and you go through and flip. You can't do that virtually. I mean, you could, but why would you? At least convert that to an electronic format. I'm sure the company has a lot of resources for you as far as presentations are concerned. Take those, customize them, because now your listing presentations aren't done at the house, right? You're going to be done virtually with the clients via Zoom, via Hangouts, via Meet, or even Facebook Messenger. Keep in mind, like what I'm doing now with Zoom is we're on a meeting. This is Google Meetings, not Google Webinars. And then I'm sharing my screen. So it's the same thing that you would do. It takes a little bit of practice if you're going to hop back from a PowerPoint to show them something on Chrome, like if you wanted to show them your company website and what makes you guys better, like you could do that by just going back and forth. It can be a much more powerful presentation than you would have done in person because typically you wouldn't have access to the internet, or would you have thought of it? We're not going to do a field trip for this, but here's Prezi Video, which is Prezi's latest version. What it is, again, it overlays the presentation on video. So I could present live, and once I figure out how to do this and then stream it via Zoom, it's going to be a game changer. But right now, I can stream this on Facebook if I wanted to, or I can just record it and play it back for my clients. So here's what it looks like.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. This is Jeremiah. It's J-Man Monero. J-Man Speaks. I'm doing a quick demonstration of the new Prezi Video app. That's right. You've heard of Prezi. You've heard of Prezi Next, which was the next generation. And now we have Prezi Video, which integrates all the wonderful features of Prezi, the storyboard format that we love so much, with video that we love so much. So it's like video and Prezi had a baby, and Prezi Video is the product of that. So check this out. I have different templates that I can use, but I'm just going to do this. I'm going to show you a quick PowerPoint presentation on CRMs and CRMs to choose. We've been working with one called Wise Agent. So just show you this quickly. Boom. I bring the presentation in to my video. Welcome, everybody. That's an image that I chose. It's not part of the PowerPoint, but I'm going to go swipe. It's going to go again. Do you even need a CRM to manage your real estate business? Only if you want to stay in business.
All right, so you get the idea. It has video, and then it overlays the presentation. Again, set yourself apart from the competition. There's going to be a number of people. You may be competing against somebody who's virtually presenting their listing. Set yourself apart. Make sure that you're better than them. because that's going to make all the difference. Electronic signings or signatures. I would use any of the programs that we discussed earlier to review paperwork with my clients. Again, where you are, it all depends. Maybe you can write contracts, and not write contracts, but fill in the blanks on contracts, or maybe you do offers to purchase, which then has to go to somebody to solidify that meeting of the minds. Whatever it is, electronic signatures, 100% of our clients are using it. It's very different. I've been doing it for 12 years. So it's when you give them no other option, they're going to do it. In the rare instance where somebody says, I don't have a computer, I don't have internet, you can always just mail it to them. Okay, put it in an envelope, mail it to them, they receive it, they sign it, and then send it back to you. Here are some good options though, depending. There may be something that your local real estate board provides for you, whether it's Instinet, Offensive Sign, ZipForm, Plups, Dotloop, DocuSign. Anything that's real estate related that's meant for it is secure enough. There's a lot of programs that you could use to manipulate PDFs. That's not what you want to do because those wouldn't be legal signatures. Client communications. So BombBomb and your favorite CRM. So if you don't have a CRM that you're using, or maybe, you know, you could take the time here and in the chat, put whatever you're using for a CRM, because the best options are the ones that you're going to use. Maybe the company provides one, or your local real estate board, you know, whatever it is, that's fine. I recommend BombBomb for video communications because now more than ever, our clients want to hear from us, right? They want to hear, you know, what's going on in the market, what are the benefits of listing now, if any. Tell the stories, right? I called a seller this morning and told her the story because she was kind of like hesitant. Oh, I don't know if I want to put my house in the market. You know, I told her that we listed that property on Monday. We had nobody show it in person, but via virtual, with the virtual 360 tour, we had an offer on Tuesday. That's now in contract. Okay, and she couldn't believe it, but times are changing, people are changing, they're adapting. And so we have to get the word out there, change the narrative of that, you know, what's happening now, it's better. If you're a buyer that was having trouble finding a property in a seller's market, now's the time because you're going to have less competition. Okay, so BombBomb. I'm going to show you my BombBomb here in a second, but keyword is BombBomb. That's going to get you all of the links to the templates that I use for real estate. Obviously, I'm in New York, so what I say may be a little bit different, but they're just templates. You can change it in any way that you want to make it fit your market. Okay, and then the CRM that I recommend is Wise Agent. Again, if you have one that you're using, that's fine. I just like this because it does integrate with BombBomb, and the keyword for that for a free trial is CRM. CRM. Okay, we're going to take another field trip. This will be our final field trip, I promise. But let me get a new share in here. Go back to the Chrome. And share. Okay, so the website's going to be bombbomb.com. We're going to come over here. And I'm going to log in. While that's logging in, I'm going to go. There's two ways you can do this. You can do it in the website itself, bombbomb.com, or this is super laggy. Okay. You can do it in the website. While that's coming up, I'm going to show you on my, there's a Gmail integration as well as a, this is super laggy. But on the right-hand side, you can see, okay, here we go. Let that go. Slide this over. Slide this over. Slide to the left. Okay, close that. All right, going back over here. You can see I've sent out 1,414 emails with 37,984 opens and 3,497 plays. I can track on my feed here. You know, there was a message to Brooke letting her know that we had 91 people registered for today. There was a message to Jeffrey Stanton Now, normally, see how that was played 119 times? If I knew that that was just to Jeff, I would be concerned. I might have to get a restraining order. But I know that he forwarded that to his office. He's got a big company. So 119 people played that video that I sent. And then I'm gonna come in here. Now, each one of these emails that you create is a template, so you can use it again and again. So when we have an offer that's accepted by a client, they did a, hey, congratulations on acceptance of the offer. Here's what to expect, right? And we're working on creating a whole bunch of new templates on how the virtual showing should work for buyers, for sellers, how virtual open houses will work, how the walkthroughs will work, okay? But here is, let's see, I want to send it to the client. Closing. Okay, closing checklist. So here's an example. Okay, we'd send this to the client just before closing. There's a quick video in there. Hey, this is Jeremiah. It's great to see you, blah, blah, blah. Has a closing checklist of all the things that they need. You will send this, and then I have another one on the final walkthrough, what to expect, whether they're doing the walkthrough or we're doing the walkthrough. Let's see. Checklist. Okay, here's a checklist. All right, I'm not going to waste too much more time with this, but you get the idea. Each one of these already has a template built in. I can use it again and again for clients. But let me go back to you see it here. It integrates with Gmail and Outlook. So if I click here, I can add existing videos. I can have snippets, which are stored emails, email copy. I'm just going to do this video so you can, you can't see me off screen right now, but I'm going to record it. Hold on. 3, 2, 1. Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. This is Jeremiah, J-Man Monero, J-Man Speaks. It was really great seeing you at the webinar today. I look forward to working with you in the future. Make it a great day. Okay, I'm going to save that, and then you're going to see what it looks like here in a moment as it comes over. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so you can see how, like, in the beginning, I'm super animated because it creates a GIF or a GIF, depending where you're from and how you say it. That's what increases the conversion rate, because they're more likely it's embedded right in the email. They can click that, they can play the video. That's what makes it a lot more engaging and makes them a lot more likely to click through. All right, back to the presentation. Last thing I want to talk about is equipment. So you're wondering what kind of equipment you need to get started to be a virtual agent. So your smartphone is one, obviously, right? If you don't have a smartphone, don't tell me, okay? What you want to do is slowly back out of the room, call your local mobile dealer. They'll get you an upgraded version of whatever phone you have as soon as possible. Not going to be free, but it's worth it. Next, you want to make sure that the lighting is good. Just to give you an example, I have a ring light behind my computer. If I turned it off, makes a big difference, okay? And then audio. I have AirPods, but I also have hardwired lapel microphones that I can use with my computer or with my mobile device. If you send the keyword equipment to my page, it's going to reply back with a list of equipment, where to get it, where to buy, where to get it, how much it costs, and the link. Okay, I don't make any money. I just like to refer people to everything that they need so that there's no excuse for you to start implementing this immediately into your real estate business. What's next? You can go to jmanseminars.com. We have additional training and webinars. And if you follow us on the social medias, on the different ones, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, it's J-Man Speaks. We have trainings that we do for free, okay? So here's that QR code for those of you who are asking in the comments where to get the QR code. This will take you again to our Facebook Messenger. In there, you can use the keywords and we'll get you all the information that you're looking for. So your hardest times often lead to the greatest moments of your life. Keep going. Tough situations build strong people in the end. See this as an opportunity to adapt, to overcome, and to really start thriving in 2020. Don't take this. This is an opportunity for you to set yourselves apart from the competition And so I applaud all of you who were here to make it, out of the thousands of people that could have been here, you made the choice to be with us this afternoon. And I thank you for that. So here's my contact information. Again, you can connect with me on social media. It's jmansocialmedia.com. That's my link tree that'll go to all of my platforms, or you have my number and my website there as well. So I'm going to stop sharing this, and then I'm going to open it up for any questions that you might have. Feel free to unmute yourself, and I will answer any question that you might have. So we have here how to sync Zoom to Google Calendar.
Hi.
Yes.
Hi, this is Adelina. I would like to know, thank you for a great presentation. I just wonder, is it, in reality, you are using several apps or programs to make this happen instead of just relying on one or two?
Yeah. Why am I?
Yes, why?
Okay, well, it's because you have to be fluid like water, right? Our clients are going to have different skill sets. Our job as the professional is be able to adapt to whatever they're good at. So if my client goes, oh, I know how to use Google Hangout, boom, I can do that. If my client's like, oh, I use Facebook Messenger all the time. Oh, I use Meet. Oh, I use, whatever it is, I can use it rather than saying, oh, I'm unfamiliar with that. Can you get on Zoom? And they may not be familiar. So it's having all the different tools and being able to adapt to what your client needs. That's why.
And would you just capture one single video and then post it on several apps to enable this? To make it more standardized and easier?
So in where you're showing your properties, or?
Yeah, for showing the property.
What I would do is I would have one link to a video, wherever that video is hosted, because if you have a link, then you can track it. Whereas if I take it and I upload it to Facebook and Instagram and YouTube, I can track views, but then I don't know who actually clicked on the link and where they came from. So I want to have data that I can share with my clients. So I would host it in one place, but then I would use that. The program is bit.ly.com.
Right.
Create an account with them. I'm going to put this in the comments, bit.ly.com or bit.ly. I spelled it wrong. Bit.ly. And you can create it, and they even allow you for free, as long as you create an account, to customize it. So it'd be like bit.ly.com/ the address or something like that.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome. Is there no one else? Thank you, Adeline, for stepping up.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I would like to have more questions since nobody's asking. So you're mainly working on the virtual tour presentation, and whereas for our job, when there are more greater interest from prospects, we will need to conduct the inspection. So in this pandemic, it is pretty hard to make it happen. Any clue?
About the inspection?
Yeah.
So that, again, that depends on what the local laws are. In our market, initially, the inspectors are deemed essential. So the offers that we're getting, it's contingent on an inspection where, if I can visually walk through and like it enough, and then the inspector's going to check for any latent defects, I'm okay with it. And initially, the buyers were allowed to be there with the inspector if the inspector allowed them to be, but then they just recently changed that, so that could be different in your market. But they're still going to get a detailed report with pictures. You just have to change your narrative and say this is the way it is. And if you have buyers who are having trouble buying because they didn't have large down payment, or they have a grant, or they have concessions that are needed, like, now's the time for them to buy. They wouldn't have been able to buy before, but they can buy now.
Mm-hmm. Thanks.
You're welcome. I noticed the presentation is being recorded. Will it be on your website? I'm not going to put it on my website. It'll be on my YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/jmanspeaks, as well as my Facebook page, facebook.com/jmanspeaks as well. But I'm also going to give a copy of it to Brooke, and Brooke will post it internally wherever your resources might be. If there's an intranet or something like that, it'll be in there, because I know I'm a fast talking New Yorker. A lot of the stuff that I go over is very quick, so that it it's much better to watch the playback and then rewind it. And then, you know, and then feel free, like if you guys have questions, send me a message on Facebook. You know, if I don't have a video on it that I've already created, like a tutorial, I'd be more than happy to do that because that's what I do. Like my specialty is social media technology and video, and I'm here to help you be better, do better, and exceed expectations with all your clients. Adam, yeah, so Adam posted it's youtube.com/the Sutton Group. Guess is your YouTube channel. We'll post it on there. Monthly cost for all the tools you use on a daily basis. Michael, great question. My wife could probably tell you that. My wife's also a realtor. She keeps track of the books. But anything that I talked about today was either free or I gave you the cost. So like upgrade your Zoom for $14.99 a month. Makes sense. I think it's $150 if you pay the whole year. Upgrade or do the BeLive.tv that I showed you. The upgrade for that, again, it's $154 per year. So that's $300. And then every single thing else was free. So there's no need to pay for the extras. If you have a question on whether you should upgrade or go to pro, shoot me a message because I've probably wasted my money on it already. And I can tell you whether it's worth it or not. Yep, it'll be up by tomorrow. Any other questions? Stacy, you can get the QR code or I'll pull it up again for you. 1 second. Everybody can see that. I'm gonna go back to, there you go. Okay. Are there any other questions, folks? Okay, let me check the chat because some people don't like to talk. Thank you. What is the app to track? Did I miss it? So Manuel Jaramillo, the app to track is bit.ly. You can go to bit.ly.com. You have to create an account so that it will save the links so that you can track it. So anything that I have is a longer URL. I'm going to shorten it with bit.ly. I'm going to add some branding at the end of that, and then I'm going to track it. So then I know what kind of traffic I'm getting and what's working because we don't have feet walking through the door anymore. So it's important to track that virtual traffic and just explain to your clients how that might work. You're welcome. Rachel's question, how much is Matterport? The camera itself is pretty expensive. It's down to, ready, almost $3,000. It's like $2,970 the last I saw the deal that they had on it. What I would do is find somebody in your area, a Matterport type person, or if you have somebody that's doing your photos and videos, I would imagine that they have a 360 degree. Like I called, all of our listings have a professional photographer that takes pictures. I just called him and said, hey, do you do 360? He said, well, we can, we have it in the past, but we're getting a lot of demand for it. And now have them do it, right? Because that 360 makes a difference. It's a lot better than, I wouldn't do the virtual tour where you're zooming in and zooming out. Like that's old school sleepy. So Michael commented, you can get a lower camera, $99 per month for 5 Matterport spaces. Yep. You can get a lower quality camera for $500 and only $10 a month for 5 Matterport spaces. So if you have questions, contact Michael Ree. If you guys know him, he's within the company. He can kind of give you some more information on that. Every area is so different. If I didn't have a Matterport person in my area, I would probably buy one and create that as a side business and have somebody else do it. But that's a different discussion for another day. Any suggestions on prospecting in the pandemic? So in our area, you cannot do any kind of cold calling during a state of emergency. That could be different for you guys. I wouldn't suggest that you do it. Instead, what I would do, the best kind of prospecting you could do is showing everybody that you're making a difference in the community. So I would highlight local businesses that are still open, that are doing takeout, that are delivering. I would highlight any hometown heroes, we call them, anybody who's in the healthcare industry, anything like that. Because at the end of this, when we do come out of this, the people that will be remembered are the ones that made a difference, the ones that gave back to their community, not the ones who made a lot of sales. Yeah, Michael, the RICO. Yep, R-I-C-O-H. All right, Ting Yu, thank you for the question. And I think we're good. And if you guys follow me on social media, I'm more than happy to help you. That's what I'm here for. Jeremiah's J-Man Monero, J-Man Speaks. Make it a great day, folks. Let's come together by staying apart. Okay. And thanks for being here with me today.